Okay, and we're back. So, the divisional round of the NFL playoffs has come and gone, and we had some interesting games. We had crazy upsets, and we also, well, we want to discuss that. We want to make our predictions for championship weekend, and we also, I want to get into a topic of why doesn't anybody respect the Chiefs? Because I think, it's interesting. So let's get into it. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
All right, so LG Boy, thank you for joining us. Fuck the Chiefs. Yeah, you know what? I agree. Fuck the Chiefs. It's a pretty interesting phenomenon that we're watching right now. I remember, the era of the Patriots, in the Patriots dynasty, and I don't remember this level of apathy towards them, Do you remember, or were you too young for the golden age of the Patriots and their dynasty?
Tom Brady made me cry.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, several times, I imagine.
Yeah,
but
primarily that one game in the playoffs.
Yeah, but I don't remember ever being or noticing some kind of apathy. You know what I'm saying? Or some people are calling it Chiefs fatigue or something. But no, I think it's more than fatigue. It's a bizarre form of apathy, and we'll get into it a little bit. But let's cover the coaching tracker and all that stuff a little bit first. Get that stuff out of the way. When we start breaking down the games of the weekend, then we'll get into it. But currently, this is how the playoff picture works. How the playoff picture looks. We have 4 teams left. We'll break down their games. But the coaching tracker, big news. The Jacksonville Jaguars have parted ways with their GM, Trent Baalke, which, good riddance. Because apparently, here's what, they're saying in the grapevine, is that everybody was saying, yeah, I'm not taking your job because that guy's there. So this guy has sucked for the Jaguars. He sucked for the 49ers. And I don't know how they didn't just fire him immediately, because they probably lost out on great head coaching candidates just for having him there. Like, if I'm Ben Johnson, I wouldn't hate the Jaguars job. Because, again, they have a lot of really high draft picks. It's just, would you want to work with this guy? I don't think so. Nobody wants to work with this guy. So, we'll see what happens to the Jaguars now. With him gone, the job looks way more attractive. But we also have other news. Like I said, out of all the teams currently looking for head coach, the Patriots were out. But now we have 2 more to add to that list. Officially, the Chicago Bears and the New Jersey Jets are no longer searching for head coaches. Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Lions, has officially signed with the Chicago Bears, staying within the division. It's an interesting move. You don't like it. You don't agree with it. You think it's stupid. You think it's a career suicide.
I just think it's a dick move. Like, come on, man. You can wait like at least a month for the wounds to heal.
Listen, I get it, but if you wanna get started on the off season as quickly as possible, So it makes sense to take the job immediately. Also, maybe the Bears gave him an offer he couldn't refuse, So it's interesting. What?
They threatened to kill him?
Maybe, you don't know. It's Chicago, man. It's a mafia town. You don't know. You don't mess with those Chicago people. They're crazy. But yeah, it's an interesting move. Listen, the issue with the Chicago Bears is not necessarily the talent on the field. Caleb Williams did show potential. It was more that Eberflus was kind of a dumbass, and it's more of an organizational chaos. So the organization feels chaotic, and there's one guy in between the owner and the GM that's, I think, is the cause a lot of drama. I forget that. I believe it's Kevin Warren, I think, who is a little bit too involved in the team. So they hired this guy to be kind of like the president and to spearhead the building of the new stadium. However, it seems like he's been too involved in matters of the team. Like I believe it was in Hard Knocks, they showed a video of the GM discussing with this guy how the terms for the new DJ Moore deal. And so is it DJ Moore? No. What am I thinking? The wide receiver, the star wide receiver. It's not DJ Moore. Is it? No.
You know?
What? No. They're wide receiver 1, not Keenan Allen.
DJ Moore.
Oh yeah, then it's DJ Moore. So it's them discussing the terms, and you're like, why is he reading the terms to the president? You're the GM. You should be the one who's making the final decision. So it's weird. It's a weird situation in Chicago. It's not the worst. But okay, good for him. The New Jersey Jets hired the other coordinator for the Lions, Aaron Glenn. So honestly, poor Aaron Glenn. He's bold. I'll give him that. He's also a former Jets player, so he knows the shit show that he's jumping into. So kudos to his balls of steel. But oh my God, I would not have taken this job. Like, out of all of them, the Jets seem to be the most chaotic out of all of them. So I maybe would have avoided this, but hey, you know what? Who knows? Maybe. Again, they have talent on the field. It's just been a shit show behind the scenes.
So I understand, obviously, it's a career move for these guys. But
yeah,
honestly, I think I would have rather stayed with the Lions one more year.
Maybe. I don't know. Chuck Dominguez, hate. Screw the Chiefs. Screw Mahomes. Screw Travis. Screw Andy. Amen, brother. And so currently, the current openings right now are the Jacksonville Jaguars, who I've heard rumors that they're considering some people, and I don't particularly care. The Dallas Cowboys, the New Orleans Saints, and the Oakland Raiders. Names that are thrown about are Mike McCarthy, again, because he's now available. Pete Carroll, apparently, it's getting a lot of momentum, maybe for the Raiders and stuff. If I'm him, I'd avoid the Raiders. I'd probably go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, out of all these, probably the best one is the probably is the Jacksonville Jaguars, if you can bring your own GM. But I don't know. They're all a mess. Like, I mean, you don't fire your head coach because you're a good franchise, or because your franchise is in a good spot. So wish him the best.
The Jaguars, because they got the best quarterback probably
out of all of these. Well,
I mean, Dak is a good quarterback, but I don't want to deal with fucking Jerry Jones.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it all works out. So let's break down the games of the divisional round. We will begin with the Kansas City Chiefs beating the Houston Texans 14-23 in a game that was, shall we say, predictable in many ways. Is that a fair assessment? There's a lot. Listen, so here we can get into why nobody respects the Chiefs. But what I mean in nobody respects the Chiefs is that if you notice, nobody really talks about them. So I listen to a lot of talking heads, and what they talk about is they're trying to defend them, or they are talking about the history of it, but or how historic this could be. But you don't really hear any praise. It's like, well, they're there and clearly they're good, but you don't hear any excitement of anybody who speaks of the Chiefs. There's no whisper of a thrill. There's no like, oh man, this team is like, they're the best of this. They're the best. There's nothing there. And I think everybody, I mean, it's blatant. Everybody can see that there's kind of BS and that they're fake in many ways. So so what were you gonna say?
I think the only thing I hear is that, oh man, like, oh, this freaking Bills are all doing awesome, and Josh Allen is like MVP and whatnot. But I mean, Mahomes is Mahomes, and Travis Kelce's Travis Kelce, but there's nothing. All right, what about Mahomes? How's he doing this season? Is this a good season for him? Like, no, but he just does his thing, and he usually turns it on when it's 5 minutes before the end of the game. He's the best in the business.
And they don't call holding for their line. They don't call them for starting before the snap. And so it's funny because it's been gaining momentum, with the talking heads in the media, which are expected because it's an interesting topic to discuss. But to me, where it's really interesting is that the commentators on the game, they can't help themselves. So for this game, Troy Aikman out loud said, "Oh, come on," when they called Will Anderson for a roughing the passer penalty. So it's becoming, let's say, difficult to hide. You can't BS something that's that blatant. And so
I've heard people make the criticism of Troy Aikman that since he was one of the people who could have three-peated but failed, he doesn't like Mahomes because of it, or the Chiefs.
Listen, I don't want the Chiefs to three-peat, just, because they're in the division, and I don't want them to win a single game ever. The issue here is, if I saw them actually winning their games clean, I'd be like, I hate it, but they're winning clean. That's how I felt about the Patriots. Like, man, certain calls did go their way for sure, but you watch the game, you're like, okay, this one didn't go their way, that one didn't go their way. It was kind of a balance. Here, it's like, dude, what's the defensive player supposed to do? Like, hit him in the right spot during the right time. There was another roughing. Well, I don't think it was roughing the passer at that time. I think it was unsportsmanlike or unnecessary roughness, where two Texans players collided against each other and then hit Mahomes after Mahomes pretended to run to the run outside, then ran back in and slided late. So they didn't really even hit him hard, and it's his own fault for sliding last second. And they call it unnecessary roughness. You're like, dude, what? That's the one that got the, oh, come on. So it's like, what's the defensive player supposed to do? Like, oh,
it's funny because at this point they're actually saying, like, you know what? Just knock him the fuck out.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because it's like you're gonna take the penalty. Like, if you touch him, you're gonna take a penalty. Just knock him the fuck out then.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if I'm Will Anderson and I get a roughing the passer when I hit him clean, and let's say I'm his defensive coordinator, it's like, dude, we're gonna get called even if you hit him right. Hit him dirty. Like, we'll spot you a touchdown, but we're killing Patrick Mahomes. Just hit him with everything you got. So he throws the balls. 5 seconds later, boom, hit the fuck out of him. So it's like, if you're going to penalize me for hitting him clean, I'm just going to hit him dirty. Eventually, and they're going to penalize you. And of course, the entire line is going to go after you and they're going to try to kill you. But they're going to flag them. They're going to flag you. It's going to neutralize the call and you hit the guy.
Flag a palooza.
Yeah. And so it's going to be one of those things like, all right, unnecessary roughness or roughing the passer. And on the other side, it's going to be like unnecessary roughness. It should balance out. I mean, I don't think it will because it's the Chiefs. But you're sending a message. And that entire drive, again, spot him a touchdown. But hit him after every single throw. Doesn't matter if it's legal or not. Just smack the hell out of him. Teach them a fucking lesson. It's like, that's how you want to play? You want to call it fair? Like, that's what they're incentivizing. And the thing that really annoys me is, did you see his flop? Because he did a flop. And it's like, dude, you
does a flop.
Yeah, but it's like, again, a part of me is like, I don't want to blame Mahomes because I get it. In that situation, I would do whatever it takes to win. Maybe. But I understand having that, all right, this is a tool that I have that is available to me. I will take full advantage of it. On the other hand, it's like, dude, what kind of a, let's say, message are you sending? Hey, yeah, bitch. But it's like, you're kind of like just rubbing your nose in it, like how the other people's noses in it, like, nah, I know I can get away with this, and the refs are letting me. So it's like, it's blatant.
This is the problem with me, because I understand that quarterbacks in general nowadays have more protections.
Yes.
They just do, obviously. But
tell that to Baker Mayfield.
Or Goff.
Stafford.
We all know.
Oh, freaking Sam Darnold, who got like Superfly Snuka the last game. Jesus Christ.
Fucker got suplexed.
Yeah.
But the issue is, and we all know this, no one's more protected than Mahomes.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't mind that you bend the rules to your favor, right? Obviously, everybody's going to do that. But you know that you have special favoritism. So it's even more unfair than it already is for most defensive players who are just trying to tackle the quarterback who's already trying to, bend the rules.
Yeah.
Then you get a guy who's bending the rules and he's got favoritism.
And he's good. And he's good. So
Yeah,
the big
he's damn
issue.
good. That's the annoying part.
Yeah. So it's annoying, but again, it's interesting because of the commentators. Like we had Chris Collingsworth. I'm not gonna forget it because it was during the Chargers game where he was talking about the tackle who starts fast and should be a flag, and he's like, well, he's always he starts fast and he never gets called for it, so good for him. It's like, no, it's called cheating, and you can see it. Like everybody can see it. I remember Nick Bosa saying before the last Super Bowl being like, well, they hold a lot. And the problem is that everybody can see it. We can see it, and that's why we're like, we don't respect you because we know you're just trying to ram this down our throats. It doesn't seem like even like fun football to watch. It's just annoying because they're not blowing people out. They're not playing crazy good football. It's just like, oh, this drive kept going because of a BS call. Or on the other hand, the other team got stalled because you flagged them on a BS thing too. Or sometimes, it's okay. The other team did fuck up. They deserve the flag. But it's not a good product to see on TV. And it's annoying. And I can tell everybody's like, well, okay, they won. They're the Chiefs. But nobody believes it. And that's why nobody really wants to nobody wants to get deep and talk about the Chiefs. The positives. Nobody. Because everybody that has eyes can see it. They don't respect it. They're not like, oh, well, they had this signature win this season where we could tell, blah, blah. Except maybe against the Texans earlier in the season. But still, where they blew up the knee of Tank Dell, they look pretty good there. I don't know. It's just no respect. And I think it's because, again, everybody can see it. And I would not be surprised that if they make it, to the Super Bowl, the numbers are just going to be atrocious. Because honestly, if they make it to the Super Bowl, I probably won't watch it. Just because I already know it. It's going to be BS. And I don't care. Like,
I forgot what I was going to say.
All right, let me see. Chuck Dominguez. Honestly, at this point, is it worth watching the Super Bowl? No, because you didn't feel like they earn it. Listen. I'm very happy. I'm very happy.
The annoying part of the Chiefs, or compared to like say the Patriots, is the Chiefs are undoubtedly a top tier team.
Sure.
I would say they have a top tier coach. They have a top tier quarterback. Maybe the best tight end of all time.
Great defense.
Great defense. Top tier team. Always with an asterisk.
Yep.
I would say the only one that he wasn't an asterisk was their first Super Bowl against the 49ers?
I think it was they beat the Niners twice.
They beat Garoppolo.
Yeah.
That one I would say no asterisk.
I'm not off the top of my head, no.
But the last few seasons, it's just asterisk all over the place.
Well, of course. This three-peat, like the first one of this three-peat, I'm always going to call BS on the freaking Bengals game. Like, you gave him a free third down, and then you wanted to give him another one? Like, that one was crazy. They cheated the Bengals out of the second Super Bowl. The one against the Eagles, it's more like, well, no, that was the one where they went against the Eagles. The following one, I forget, but it was also BS, but they had a better team in many ways. Or they looked more alive. This season, it's just been, dude, are you even going to try to hide it a little? Like a little bit? Add to that they're actually lucky. And so it's one of those things like, dude, it's BS on top of luck. Come on. Also, LG boy, the only thing I can say is that I respect the Pats Dynasty run more than this shitty Chiefs run because of all the help they get. Dave Martinez, what up? What's up, guys? Fuck the Chiefs. Yeah. It's one of... Honestly, like, if they get it, I'd probably not even count it. It'd be like, all right, yeah, congrats, you got it. But did you really? Do you feel good about it? Sure, Chiefs fans are going to still be like, oh, yeah, we did blah, blah. It's like, did you? Really? Do you feel good about that? At the end of the day, do you feel like you actually earned it? Because I don't think you did. And I love hearing all the players call it out. I love hearing all the coaches call it out. And again, the commentators call it out. It's honestly fun. In that sense, it's infuriating in the other one because, again, you got Mahomes flopping out because he knows he's usually going to get the flag. He's trying to flop. He didn't get it there, but on the other ones he did. And Travis Kelce is on mic, on camera, recorded for saying like when Derwin James is like, hey, that's a flag, and he's holding. He's like, yeah, I'm holding you. You know my routes. So it's like, dude, you're admitting it. It's so blatant, and you know what you're doing, and you know you can get away with it. That's the annoying part. It's like you're supposed to. The NFL is supposed to be protecting its product. The product is the games, and people watch the NFL because it's not WWE, right? We believe it's not scripted. We believe it's supposed to be fair. It's an intellectual and physical game. The moment that we begin to doubt that it's fair, at least when one team's on the field, we're like, why am I watching this? I could be doing so many other things. And so it's, let's just say, annoying. Let's see.
No, he's not real.
LG boy, honestly, I respect Tom Brady and the Pats more. I got zero respect for the Chiefs. Listen, the Chiefs are a product of their era. Now, I know a lot of people are saying like, oh man, so Andy Reid should be in the conversation of being the best head coach of all time over Bill Belichick. To me, it's now...
longevity.
Well, no. Here's the thing. Andy Reid, the current rules of the NFL benefit Andy Reid's coaching style 100%, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, all right? You play the rules that are given to you, basically, and you try to take the most advantage of it. Now, the rules are already in your favor, and everything tends to fall in your direction, so everything's kind of leaning more towards you. That's where things start kind of feeling a little bit shady. Now, in the Bill Belichick era, I believe things were more fair for the defense, and they were a little bit more unfair for the quarterbacks because, you know, they got blasted like crazy. So I think that's why I respected more. It's like, dude, if you were a quarterback, you went out there afraid. That's why you respect Tom Brady for having ice in his veins, because, you know, they were actually trying to fucking kill him. Like, especially the Saints. They had a bounty on him. And so, well,
I don't know if I'm crazy, but were the teams just better overall back then?
They had to be.
Like, I'm trying to think, like, the era of freaking Peyton Manning, you know, Prime Rodgers, you still had Favre, Roethlisberger, Drew Brees. Like, those teams were fucking something else.
Well, I'd say the game was more fair for the defense, because right now it's super unfair for the defense, and I find that really annoying.
Because I've been watching old clips of, you know, old Super Bowls and whatnot, and those fuckers used to, like, the offense used to get blasted.
Yeah.
And you see clips nowadays, and the offense is just running everywhere, and the defense ain't even touching them because they're scared of touching them.
Yeah. And so they're giving it.
It was way more impressive back then. Like the helmet catch, you see the helmet catch, and you're like, oh, that's a pass interference nowadays.
Yeah. So
it wouldn't even matter that it was a helmet catch. He gets pass interference because the other guy was like clutching onto him.
Yeah. And I don't know. Maybe they had to be a little bit more talented in different ways. I don't know. The point is, I think, at least for the offense, it was a lot more difficult. And that's why we respect them more. Right now, it's like you're watching them play modern day Pokemon. Where they just hold your hand the entire way, and every single thing benefits you, and you have experience share on. It's stupid. Let me see, Alexandra. Is Mahomes the new GOAT if he three-peats? I don't think so. I don't see it. Listen, Mahomes is great. I don't think he's won 3 championships. Like, I don't. Like, I know he has, but I don't. Well, I'd say I don't think he's earned 3 championships. Particularly the one against the Eagles where they just stole it from the Bengals. That's the one that bugs me the most. So it's.
You can also argue they stole it from the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you could argue when it comes to the Chiefs, and I'm just happy that people are finally starting to see it. Like, I'm legitimately happy.
Also, I mean, let's face it. They did go head to head, and Brady stomped him, right?
Yeah, of course, twice.
And that was a prime Mahomes against a not prime Brady.
Well, he beat him twice. So with the Patriots, and with the Buccaneers. So.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember when they got when I remember when the Chiefs fans got all pissy because it's like, oh no, the Mahomes didn't even get to touch the field in overtime. And it's like, yeah,
Yeah, them's the rules.
so what?
Sometimes you messed against somebody who had better luck than you did.
Maybe that was Tom's power. He was the only balancing force of luck.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe Mahomes never beat Tom Brady in the offseason. I'm gonna have to check that. I might be wrong.
In the offseason.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, in the playoffs. We'll have to see. The point is, Brady won when it mattered: the championship game and the super and then the Super Bowl. So,
I feel like they must have won against the Patriots at some point.
well, I don't know. Let me see. Chuck Dominguez, they should change the rules into the NFL Blitz game. Ha ha ha. The NFL rules was sick. Chuck Dominguez, Alexandra, hell no. Until the ref stuff getting involved and stop with the BS calls and actually earn it, then maybe on the conversation. Again, people are sick of it. And it's not necessarily that they're winning. So people are not tired of them winning. It's how they're winning. Like, so I don't know. Maybe that's why they don't respect it, but try to pay attention to the talking heads. If you watch clips, you'll see people defending them. And usually when they defend them, it's just gonna be like, well, look at their record. Look at this. Look at how many games they won, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, yeah, I'd put an asterisk on at least 60% of those wins. Easily. When you're just like, did they win really? Or did the refs help? Now, again, I've said this many times. I believe that in a clean game, the Chiefs could have won most of those games because they're talented enough and they're lucky enough. However, once the refs get involved, you're like, did you win really? Is it really you? Or because if we notice the big blatant ones, imagine all the little ones that fans can't spot. So I know that every team has that, but Jesus Christ, when somebody gets called out by a commentator being like, good for him for cheating all the time and never getting a flag. Come on. Like, at least call the blatant ones. Otherwise, it's not even fair. Honestly, Bills, just give them, if they give you roughing the passer that wasn't deserved, next play, blast the fuck out of him. Just go ahead, teach him a lesson. And then the next play, blast the fuck out of him. Even if he threw the ball like 20 seconds earlier, just blast and blast and blast and send the NFL a message. Sure, we'll spot you a freaking touchdown. Sure, penalize me afterwards. Take my money. We'll deal with it later. But just go ahead and blast, 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 blast. You get a free touchdown, we're gonna fucking kill you. So that's kind of how I will handle it. What's up?
I wanted to check. Mahomes never beat Brady in the postseason.
Oh, well, there you go. So, again, quarterbacks are never on the field at the same time, but, what can you do? Anyway, next game, the biggest upset of the weekend. The Commanders beating the mighty Lions 45-31 in a heartbreaker. What's up?
Just one real quick.
Yeah.
So Mahomes is 0-2 versus Brady in the postseason.
Uh-huh.
And Tom Brady is 0-2 against Eli Manning in the postseason. So the GOAT is actually
Eli Manning. That's the math checks out. I'm going to go throw up a little bit. No, right. So, divisional round, Commanders. Dude, what the hell happened in this game? And I can tell you what the hell happened in this game. Jared Goff had one of the worst games of his career. And the Commanders defense came to play. 1 fumble recovered, 4 interceptions. They were in his face quite a bit. I don't know. They looked like they were, was it a trap game? I think it was a trap game. Like the trappiest of trap games, because every single time it looked like the Lions got their shit together, the Commanders threw a wrench in it. And it's crazy to see a team that was that talented, that dominant, be embarrassed this way. Honestly, it was painful to watch because I had the Lions in the Super Bowl, and now I'm winning the Super Bowl this year, and now I'm like, what the fuck?
I did tell you I had a feeling, though, didn't I?
Yeah, I know. I'm blaming you for this. This is 100% your fault. Like you jinxed them.
I don't care.
Why don't you care? You should care.
I already don't have any kneecaps, so they can't do anything to me.
Fair enough. Let's see. LG boy, hell yeah, leg drop the QB. Sandman 8296, NFC North 0-3 this postseason. That's a stat. That's embarrassing. I'm glad Bears got Ben Johnson, didn't hire McCarthy. Listen, it's always a risk when you get coordinators. When you hire coordinators to be a head coach, you can get you can get Brandon Staley, or you could get a Sean McVay. It's risky. We'll see. Because it's not the same thing being really good at the offensing and being a really good leader of men. So we'll see. Yeah, I wish him luck. I wish him the best. Because, he went through the hell that was Detroit. Unfortunately, I wish they would have stayed in Detroit. But, we'll see.
Also, when you really think about it, the Chicago Bears have the best record in the NFC North in 2025.
Who? The Bears?
Yeah.
Why? Because they won?
Everybody else in their division has a loss this year.
Oh, okay. Oh, I guess. Sure. They're betting 1,000. And yeah, so also this guy, Jaden Daniels, the most likely rookie of the year. He good. I mean, it helps that the Lions offense started off by breaking one of the starters' arms. And then
I love that picture where the guy's just flying.
Yeah. Dude, the Lions defense was atrocious.
I think they had like 21 injured defensive players or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, again, they started off by dude breaking his arm, which is never a good way to start, in case you were wondering.
But also, Jaden Daniels, best rookie quarterback of all time.
If he makes it to the Super Bowl, he'll be the first rookie to start in the Super Bowl. So I mean,
has a rookie made it to the championship game?
I'm not sure. I think so. Purdy made it to that game. I'm pretty sure. And then he got injured during the game, and that's why the Eagles won. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Purdy went all the way to the championship game.
It wasn't his rookie season, was it?
That was his rookie season. Yeah. Wasn't it?
I don't know.
Look it up. Anyway, Jaden Daniels, 22 out of 31, 299 yards, 2 TDs, 350 total yards. That Commanders offense has been probably the surprise of the year. Cliff Kingsbury has honestly been beyond impressive, because he had him pegged as like this guy that there's the Cliff Kingsbury wall. By the way, that's the offensive coordinator for the Commanders. He was the former head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, and there was there was a point of the season when they were super hot, and then all of a sudden they hit a wall and it's starting to collapse. It looked like the Commanders had reached that point, but they managed to turn it around, man, and they kept going, and teams don't know how to handle them. So there's the big reason why teams don't know how to handle him. It's because he plays in the NFC. So the closest comparison to Jalen Daniels is probably Lamar Jackson. Now, different players, but it's probably their closest comp. Lamar Jackson has an extraordinary record against the NFC. There's nobody like Lamar Jackson in the NFC, and so defenses don't really know how to play him because they don't play him very often. Now, there's a Jaden Daniels there, and so let's just say defenses were not ready for him, especially him being this good this quickly. So I think that's been an advantage to him. The same as in the AFC, teams will adapt. There's going to be more tape on him. They're going to learn how to play him, and so things will eventually balance out. But I guess it's being at the right place at the right time. So they got the easy schedule this year. They've been able to play explosive when they needed to. They have a QB who's playing like a veteran. And the Lions walked into that stadium, half asleep apparently. Also, with half the team on IR, at least the defense. So it was it pays to be lucky, man. And the Commanders are really, really taking advantage of it.
I had a bad feeling overall. It felt like the Lions are not that team that can be the 1 seed. Like it feels like they have to be underdogs.
Maybe. Listen,
And also, I do have the answer because actually, Sandman, you are correct. Joe Flacco did make it to the championship game. There have been 6 rookie quarterbacks to make it to the championship game.
Oh.
Would you like to guess?
I can see it here in the chat. Andrew Luck, Joe Flacco. No, Andrew Luck didn't make it?
No. Joe Flacco, yeah.
Okay. Was
No,
it
he's not
Purdy?
next.
What?
Purdy, yes.
Okay. Rookie year. So it had to be somebody who started as a rookie. Jaden Daniels doesn't count, right?
I already had him.
Okay. Stroud,
One
I
of them
don't.
you're not gonna know. His name is Sean King. I don't know who the fuck that is.
Okay. I don't think Stroud made it all the way.
Think older. Think early 2010s.
Early 2010s. Jesus.
Late 2000s.
Rodgers? No, he was benched. He started off in the bench. Brady, same thing. Started off in the bench. Stafford. No way Stafford did it. He was in hell. Romo, maybe? Prescott.
No.
Oh. I don't know. Just tell me. Russell
One
Wilson?
of them is Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay, I can see it.
And the other one was the butt fumble man himself, Mark Sanchez.
Holy shit. Okay, so this guy has a potential of being a Mark Sanchez. All right.
There's an interesting statistic, though.
What's up?
Because so these are the rookies that have started a title game. But this is how good their defenses were when they started.
Uh-huh.
Brock Purdy had the number 1 defense.
Okay.
Mark Sanchez had the 3rd.
Mhm.
Joe Flacco had the 3rd. Ben Roethlisberger, the 1st. Sean King, the 3rd. Jaden Daniels, care to guess?
7th.
18th.
Oof. Okay. All right. That's an impressive stat. So,
Something.
listen, they didn't play like the 18th this weekend. I'm going to tell you that. They did not play like the 18th. They managed to, again, make the mighty Lions fuck up. And here's the thing that kind of bugs me. Ben Johnson was out interviewing for head coaching jobs during this process. And that's why I'm like, dude, you should, if I'm an owner, I'm not gonna allow my offensive coordinators to go out for interviews. Not during playoff time. Be like, you know what? You can call them afterwards. I'm not allowing this shit. I want my guys to be 100% focused. I don't care if they have a bye week. I want them to be 100% focused on this. Because guess what? If we lose, that's going to be a talking point. And I don't want that to be a talking point. Because now I hear a lot of people saying it like, oh, man, Ben Johnson, like they threw the game on purpose because he knew he was taking the Bears job. And so they were like, oh, I'm not going to let the Lions win because that's going to be a new rival, stuff like that. So it's ridiculous. But I wouldn't want that to be a conversation. So, and I talked to a few Lions fans, and they're like unhappy because again, the team did not look focused on offense or defense. They did not look ready, and you're like, well, what kept you unfocused? What was the reason? And so it's not just that the Commanders came out to play, which they did.
And it could have been a trap.
Again,
game.
let me see. We got a lot
Maybe
of
they're
comments here
thinking
that
of the next week already. I don't know.
I see. Can Washington be the New York Giants to the Chiefs? Maybe. Here's hoping. I'm just happy for Eckler. He balled out. Good for him. Waves got 10K on the Chiefs winning it all.
Jesus.
Listen, that's a bet. It's a bet. Best of luck to you. I hope you don't get it. David Martinez, I'm rooting for the Redskins. The other 3 teams and their fans annoy me. I find the Bills Mafia to have their charm. You know? Like, they're just crazy people. Yeah, they're just crazy, but in a good way, not an obnoxious way.
I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna be completely transparent.
Okay.
I want the Eagles to win because I have them, and if I win, I get a lot of money. But
Do you get 10K?
I don't like Philly fans.
Oh no! Again,
I don't want them to be happy. I don't want them to experience joy.
Philly fans are the biggest pieces of shit in the NFC. And the Raiders are the biggest pieces of shit in the AFC. and they are in competition to see who are the biggest piece of shits in the NFL. Now, it used to be the Raiders, like clean, straight up, when they were in Oakland. Now that they're in Vegas, they're a little bit more clowny, a little bit more relaxed. They're high most of the time. They're not straight up criminals or just straight up criminals. So it's
They actually arrest people in Vegas.
yeah. So it's a little bit different. They mellowed out, and now it's a competition. So now the Philly fans are like, well, we boo Santa Claus, and so they try to keep it interesting to see who the biggest piece of shit fan base is. Let's see. Andrew Luck, Fish Rookie of all time, Flacco. All 4 teams remaining have mobile QB. Sign of the times. Big Ben, Wilson, Ben Roethlisberger, Sandman. But the Lions' offense wasn't the issue. They scored 31 points. Well, the offense turned it over 5 times. That was an issue. Again, scoring 31 points is okay, but the issue was the turnovers. They were not 100% there mentally, in my opinion. Yes, it was Sandman. How many turnovers? Oh, there you go, David Martinez. Aaron Glenn's defense gave up 45 points, but like you guys mentioned, they were down to their third strings all around the defense. Yes.
Yeah, I ain't blaming that guy.
Yeah, the dude did a great job with what he had. And again, the Commanders' offense has some ballers in there. Yep, we hope the Chiefs don't win. Waves. Ben Johnson didn't make Goff throw in INTs or Jamo throw in INT. Or Jamo throw an INT? I don't know who that is. Anyway, let's move on.
Ben Johnson didn't make him throw an INT.
Sure. So in the next we have the Eagles surviving the LA Rams in probably the best looking game, visually of the weekend, 22-28. Just look at this. Look at this. I love snow games, man. They're great. It's unfortunate that we'll never have a you think it's shitty?
Shitty games.
Oh, yes, but they look great.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like, like all the cold coming out of their mouths. This guy right here, he had a game. He's a baller. 26 runs for 205 and 2 TDs, 232 total yards. This man's unstoppable. Saquon Barkley, just give him the ball the entire time. You'll win. He good. He really good. The Rams really didn't have an answer for him, at least not for his long runs, which, start off as short runs, and they just couldn't stop him. I want Saquon Barkley to make it to the Super Bowl, but I don't want the Eagles to win, and also I don't want the Commanders to lose because I have him in our bet now. So it's bizarre, but it's one of those things like, hey, man, if they make it, good for Barkley. Because, again, he was in hell in New York.
You have the Commanders?
I have the Commanders. Yeah, I had the Commanders going up against the Lions. And so I was like, okay, so it's going to be the Lions. Turns out it's the Commanders. So now I'm rooting for the freaking Commanders. And it sucks. Next, by the way, the Rams balled out. Like, they came to play. They just... The freaking Eagles defense is legit, man. They're just too good. They had a few injuries there. Hopefully they can recover, and they have the advantage of playing at home. But holy shit, for an LA team to come out to, like sunny California team to come to snowy Philadelphia and play like that, respect. Unfortunately for them, I think their Super Bowl window is kind of closing because Matthew Stafford did signal that, well, maybe I'll come back, maybe not. We'll see. If they lose Stafford, it's going to be rough goings for a while because Cooper Kupp did not look like he did in previous seasons. He's showing his age, and finding a QB in this draft is not look, let's just say it doesn't look good, or the options don't look great. And Sean McVay has admitted, dude, I don't really know how to train rookie QBs. Maybe he's learned. Maybe he'll trade for Aaron Rodgers. Who knows? But right now, had a great season, had a lot of potential, but things are not looking great for the Los Angeles Rams, unfortunately. Next.
Yeah, well, they got a Super Bowl.
Yeah. The most anticipated game of the weekend, the Bills hosting the Baltimore Ravens and beating them 25-27 in a nail-biter at the end. Check out the stats for this game. It's crazy. All right? Check it out. No, but maybe. I don't know. But if you check the stats, who do you think won? Okay, so Passing yards. Oh, what did I do? Did I mess up? Let me just fix this. Okay, so passing yards. Ravens, 240. Bills, 126. Rushing yards. Ravens, 176. Bills, 147. Yards per play. Ravens, 7.3. Bills, 4.6. Total yards. Ravens, 416. Bills, 273. All right? So they beat them. Like they were moving the ball. They moved the ball way. They were moving way better at times. They had more yards, but 3 turnovers and the time of possession. It's what's crazy. The Bills held the ball longer for about 3 minutes. So it's one of those things like, dude, with less yards, you held the ball for longer. What the hell? Like, if you just see that, you're like, what the hell was this game? But, you know,
no game. Nothing makes sense.
Nothing makes sense. But, you know, when you got the potential MVP, Mr. Josh Allen, 16 out of 22, 127 yards, 10 runs, 20 yards, 2 TDs. Sometimes all you have to do is be efficient, which they were. And they didn't turn the ball over. And also, the Bills defense came to play. Now, there was a point. At the start of the game, they were holding freaking Derrick Henry down. And there was a lot of people. I have a friend of mine who's a big Ravens fan. He's like, dude, why aren't they running the ball more? It's like, because the Bills aren't letting them. It's not like they're not giving him the ball. It's the Bills are actually stopping them. And so they were stopping Derrick Henry. Then came the second half, and there was a drive where they just could not stop the man. And then they could not stop the Ravens. This game was like 3-score difference at one point. And they came back, and they came back, and they came back, and it came down to freaking Mark Andrews, first off, creating a fumble, and then at the end, for the 2-point conversion, dropping a ball. Your best receiver on the field dropping the 2-point conversion. It's brutal. You can't blame play calling. You can't blame Lamar Jackson. Can't blame they didn't use Derrick Henry enough. It's your best guy dropping the freaking ball. Literally, that's brutal.
It must suck to be that guy right now, man.
Yo, dude. Oh my God.
Imagine.
Dude, I couldn't look.
Imagine if it would have been for the win.
Oh, dude, I don't know how he looks himself in the mirror now, man. Like, it's crazy. It's
like he's gonna be seeing ghosts with Darnold, man.
Yeah, and so there's the critique is like, man, Andrews can't play in big games. He can't play in big games. He doesn't show up. He's got the dropsies. He's fumbling. So it sucks for the Ravens. I mean, I'm happy because I had the Bills, and thanks to everything for me depended on the Bills, right? Everything. And so now that they won, things are a little bit closer. It's actually a competition between you and me. But holy shit. Let me see. I got some bunch of stuff here. Saquon, mi patron. Yeah, that boy good. Sandman heard Kurt Warner talk about how the game should be played in a controlled environment indoors. He went on to say he understood how fans want to see the player. He understood how fans want snow and it's football weather. Listen, I get that argument. I get it. If you want things to be fair and balanced and all that stuff, I understand why a controlled environment would be better. Here's my.
He continues his point after. He says, but if you're a West Coast team or Arizona, you can't prepare for or get used to cold weather like an East Coast team can. And I understand that, but at the same time, that's home field advantage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, that's the point.
That's where I was going. That there's got to be a reward to winning your division. There's got to be something. That's why I don't like this whole like, well, why is it that the Vikings had to go to freaking to Tampa Bay when they had a better record, blah blah blah. It's because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won their division. Otherwise, what's the point of having divisions? Like, I get it. It's controversial, and there's pros and cons. There's advantages to certain things.
There's arguments that they could be moved around, like the divisions.
Listen, I'm all for, spicing things up. You would lose a lot of historical rivalries, which would suck. I'm more of the just add more teams. Just add more teams. I think that would be better.
How many would it for it to make mathematical sense.
They need at least 8.
Yeah.
Either you add 2 more divisions on each side, or you add 1 more team to every division, or maybe make a weird thing where you have teams that travel divisions and stuff. I don't know. That'd be weird too.
I don't like it. Right now they have the perfect number, but if they were gonna do it at 8,
Yeah.
then at least
All right, so let's say 2 more divisions. You got 8 cities. San Diego?
San Diego.
Of course. San Diego, of course. Are you kidding me? What else do you like?
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City? Why?
I just like it.
Because I know the name. It's the one city you know the name of?
The Salt Lake City Mormons.
You know what? Sure. Why not? I'm just going to open up a list of the biggest cities in the U.S. Just, to make it easier.
Carson City.
What?
Carson City.
All right. So let's see. The San Antonio, do they have a team?
It's one of the Texas teams.
San Antonio doesn't have a team.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so you would get San Antonio, San Diego. I don't want to give San Jose anything. Charlotte. Well, I mean,
Arizona already covers the whole state.
Columbus, Ohio, maybe. I think that's where the El Paso, Fort Worth, Detroit. We'll see. I don't know.
You have to be more clever with the states, I think, because I think a lot of people in a certain state like Ohio, they're gonna go, already for the Bengals.
All right, so states that don't have any. So like New Mexico,
Sure, yeah.
Alabama,
Oregon.
steal one of the Carolinas. Steal South Carolina.
West Virginia.
There you go. What, is it in Washington technically in West Virginia? Or is it Maryland? Montana. Give Montana a team. Hell yeah.
Montana.
Give Montana a fucking team. Give Idaho a fucking team.
And you know what? Let's combine the Dakotas, because, come on, you guys are silly.
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous. Let's see. Oh, give Mexico City one. No. Are you kidding me? People can't play there. It's crazy. Let me see. Let's see. But if you're West... Okay. Honestly, the Bills versus Ravens game was probably the fairest and most pure game. Refs did not get involved. They didn't do any BS calls. That's the way football should be. I 100% agree. That's actually an excellent point there, Chuck Dominguez. It felt like old school football. It felt like the better team fucked up more. Because I think the Ravens are overall a better team, but 3 turnovers. Your big stars did not show up, and the Bills came to play. They sacked Lamar Jackson. They made him fumble the ball. They stopped Derrick Henry at the start of the game. They made the stops when they had to at the end. They recovered the onside kick when they needed to. So it's one of those things where you're like, any given Sunday, just like the freaking Commanders.
Game definitely didn't disappoint.
Do what hockey does. Get some teams from Canada. Yeah, sure. Teams from Canada. Why not? San Diego, Wyoming, New Mexico, Oregon, Montana. Maybe. All right. So let's move on to the playoff picture. So, this thing got stuck.
You could also see St. Louis.
St. Louis. All right. So this is how the current playoff picture looks. So basically, I have the Commanders. You have the Eagles. I have the Bills, you have the Chiefs. So I have both the away teams, you have both the home teams. Let me do a quick math here. So we were 2-4, if I'm not mistaken.
I can't do math at this hour.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's 6 games total. And the first round, I won two of those. So I had 2 points, you had 4.
Rams.
I got the Commanders, which got me up to 4, and I got the Bills, which got me up to 8. You are currently... No, I'm at 6 and you're at 8, if I'm not mistaken.
So the second round gives you 2 points, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had the Rams, I had the Eagles, I had the Texans, and I had the Ravens.
Mm.
So that's 4 points.
Yep.
And then I have 2 points with the Eagles, and then 2 points with the Chiefs.
Yep,
That's
sir at 8.
Okay.
And I'm at 6.
All right.
Okay. And
Well,
so I think it.
Good luck to you.
Listen, there's a chance that both of us get eliminated this weekend. Well, one of us gets eliminated this weekend, or it'll go down to the Super Bowl. I'm hoping it'll end up being Eagles-Bills Super Bowl. But
I can make peace with that.
Commanders-Bills Super Bowl will be even better, but that wouldn't be as competitive. They wouldn't be as fun for a little bet. Anything that just doesn't involve the Chiefs. So I'm 100% Bills fan this weekend. 100%. Like all in. I'm bleeding blue, baby. How are you doing?
I just want. I'll take Eagles Bills. I think that'd be a great game. If the Eagles win, then I win, and if the Bills win, good on them. They finally exercised the demon.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen can beat the fraud allegations.
Yep.
I'd say that. I'd say that's my favorite one. Look.
I
like the command.
I
like the Commanders.
Does Josh Allen have
cool.
Josh Allen have fraud allegations? I mean, I've seen all the games that he's lost in the postseason. It's not because he hasn't scored points. It's because the defense allowed them to score with 13 seconds left in the game.
The quarterback's the one who takes the blame.
Yeah, true.
That's the rule.
So
like the Detroit's defense didn't play, but who takes the biggest heat?
well, the guy who did 4 interceptions, that's the guy who takes the heat.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying. I mean, it was a team game, isn't it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Championship round. I honestly, I don't. Sunday at 12 p.m. Commanders visiting the Eagles. I know who I'm rooting for, but I legit because I'm rooting for the Commanders. But I see the Eagles winning this one. That defense is just too good. They're just too freaking good.
It's an interesting game because divisional rivals.
Yeah.
They are 1-1 this season.
And the freaking Commanders kind of have the Eagles number. You remember a few years ago when they were undefeated and then all of a sudden their first loss came to the Commanders? So
this season was their first loss to the Commanders.
No, I'm pretty sure not.
I think it was like the same thing.
No, you're crazy. They lost earlier in the season. They lost to Tampa Bay, I think.
Let me see.
They did lose to the Commanders, and it was the game where Jalen Hurts got the concussion stuff. So did they really beat him?
Did they?
I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Like I said, home field advantage Eagles. They should win this one, but we'll see. We'll see. The other one, the Bills visiting the Kansas City Chiefs, 3:30 p.m. Pacific. Bills beat them early in the season, but they beat them at home. Can they beat them in Arrowhead? I think they can. So, picking the Bills all the way. What do you think? I know you're rooting Chiefs because you have them, but what do you think?
Mahomes is 3-0. Mahomes is 3-0 against the Bills in the playoffs.
Yep.
Like, I'll take the Bills, but I don't know if they can get that out of their head. Again, this is the game where the Chiefs use their biggest superpower.
Bullshit.
And it's going to be up to the Bills whether or not they choose to play like retards.
Whether or not they choose to run the ball.
Their biggest superpower. Look, and you remember we've even showed the clip before of when I actually say like the Bills, they fuck up.
Yeah, they fuck up. I 100% agree.
They're fuck ups.
Yeah,
they're in them. They're the hottest team. They may be the hottest team right now. They got all the momentum. The Chiefs are weak. They're one of the weakest teams that they've had in a long time. By all intents and purposes, they should win. So they're gonna fuck up.
Maybe. Listen, I think the Bills are a hotter team than the Chiefs, meaning that if they're down by 21 points, I think the Bills can catch up. I don't see the Chiefs catching up if they're down by 21. If all things are fair, I'll put it that way. If all things are fair, I see the Bills being able to get red hot and being able to pull off or coming back from a crazy point deficit. That being
Here's
said,
here's the thing.
what's up?
They have to win in kind of a blowout.
Yeah, they have to get up early.
They're not going to win a close game.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And honestly, here in this one, I'm putting my hopes on Mr. Von Miller. Von Miller, he's a vet. He ain't afraid to play Patrick Mahomes. He's played him a lot of times before. He's beaten him a lot of times before. Hopefully he knows how to get in his head, and hopefully he can, just slack the hell out of him. So we'll see. Let me see. Jalen Hurts' knee might not be 100%. Might mean he won't be able to run around as much or do tush pushes. Washington might sell out to stop Saquon. Maybe. Static extract. I'm neutral in picks, but it would be crazy to see a rookie QB get a ring. It would. Honestly, it would. I just don't see the Commanders doing it. Like, I don't see it.
It would be pretty crazy though.
It would. You know what? It could. It could happen. Chuck Dominguez, Washington Bills. Yeah. I hope the Bills win. It'll be tough to win at Arrowhead. Chiefs get up the field via penalties fourth quarter. That's the one thing I hope doesn't happen. I hope it doesn't happen. That's all I can say. You know how many tables are going to get broken if that happens? Honestly, it might be possible for the Bills Mafia to show up to Arrowhead and kind of balance things out. It's possible. Is it likely? Not really. But they did it in Seattle, I think. Where they kind of like...
I thought you were going to say, it's possible that Bills Mafia kills Patrick Mahomes.
That's also a possibility. They're not that crazy. Again, they're not from Chicago. But I don't know, man. It's one of those things that you're like... They out BS them earlier in the season at home. We have eyeballs. We can tell who the better team is. If the refs get too involved, I think there will be serious problems in the NFL because it's 2 weeks of people just calling out BS on the sport. Because again, there's a bye week before the Super Bowl. And so what are you going to talk about? I mean, unless like the Chiefs ball out and they just play crazy good football. But if there's BS and there's an asterisk on it, I don't know. Listen, I don't know what fans are going to do. Like, I know how I'm going to feel probably.
Now that you mention it, I can't remember ever anybody calling a Brady team frauds.
No.
Like people have said like, okay, so when the Patriots beat the Rams in that boring ass Super Bowl,
Yeah.
that wasn't the strongest Patriots team that there has been, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, the strongest team didn't win.
Yeah.
2008. But I don't think anybody ever was like, the Patriots, they just seem off. They seem kind of like frauds. Like they're like they don't belong here.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs do.
Because we have eyes. We can see it. I mean, it's something that I feel like it's even doesn't need much explanation. Most people can see the games and you're like, that's BS. Like a lot of people don't know a lot of the rules, but you're like, yeah, that looks shady. And again, it's not just fans, because fans will always complain about the refs. That's death taxes and
right.
no death taxes and fans complaining about the refs is like the only guarantees in life. Okay, when it's the announcers, when it's the talking heads, that's when you're like, holy shit, these people make money from the NFL. All right, and they are complaining, and they're complaining live, so it's a natural reaction. And apparently they're not that good at lying, or they can't hold it in because come on, or good for him, for getting away with it. Like it's so blatant. So we'll see.
I kind of appreciate Collinsworth saying that because at least he's admitting the cheating.
Sure.
So at least it brings focus to it.
It's one of those things when Collinsworth said it, I was like, he didn't know where to go with it, and that's why he said good for him. It's like,
oh, he's totally offsides. Wow, he's been offsides the whole game.
Yeah, he does that a lot, so
Good for him.
Good. So again, that's why a lot of people don't want to talk about the Chiefs unless it's to defend them, because it's like, well, what can you say? What can you say? You can't look yourself in the mirror and be honest about what this team is and how they've won their games. And it's not like other teams, because a lot of other teams, most people don't watch their games. They just watch the highlights. They don't actually see the stupid decisions that were made or the stupid calls or whatever. And because you have to watch so many games, they probably watch them on mute. But the Chiefs games, they do tend to watch them. And I don't think you can lie to yourself when you actually watch the game. You're like, yeah, that's not.
That's the Chiefs fans. You can lie to all of us saying, "Oh, look at all our rings. We don't care. We don't care. Oh, we win." You can lie to yourself.
Honestly, I don't care. I'm at the point where you're like, "Yeah, we got to repeat." You know what? Good for you. If you think those were legit, good for you. Congratulations. Good on you. You have it. Sure. Just pat him on the head like, sure, whatever. You get no respect from me. All right? It's like somebody who buys they buy a championship or whatever. It's like, all right, cool. All right. You pay to win. All right, cool. Congratulations. If you feel good about if you feel good about it, great. You get no respect from me. So you can cheer all you want. You can be like, yeah, we did it. Like, all right, well, you're still a loser in my mind. So congratulations. Or you frauds. I don't know what hurts more. What would hurt more? No, Chuck the. All right, let's see. Chuck Dominguez. Von Miller's gonna get the job done. Amen, brother. A freaking man. I can't believe I'm rooting for Von Miller, man. I hate the guy. Cause
You hate the guy,
cause he was in the Broncos.
but he's not anymore.
But I still have the taste. Do you hate Derek Carr?
Not anymore.
I still do. It's like, man, you got the taint on you. Anyway,
Man, he just plays for Green Day now. He's fine.
I didn't see Washington beating the Lions, and look where we're at. Lol. Hey, Chicago catching strays from Dario. Yeah, I don't know what. I don't know what is it, because we talked about Chicago earlier and Ben Johnson? I don't know. Static. I didn't see the Lions losing either. It really depends on who's having a better night. The worst team can have a good night. Chuck Dominguez, if Chiefs win, we riot. Freaking men. Amen. But we riot over there because we don't want to destroy our own city. We want to go over there and destroy their city. Fair enough. Exactly. Anyway.
California's already burned down anyways.
Oh, definitely. The fire starting freaking in East Lake and stuff like that. Shit's wild. But anyway, that's it for today. Did I forget anything? Is there anything that we haven't mentioned?
No, let's just enjoy what little football we got, guys.
Sure.
We got 3 games left.
Yeah. All right. As always, comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at DarioSDW and at Super Dario World. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel, all that good stuff. It really helps me out. Also, do not go to Masi Toyota Pacific Beach. Stay away from it. Stay away as far as you can, unless you want to deal with criminals who will steal your money, or even worse, men who do not keep their word and lie to you, look you in the eyes and lie like cowardly men. They shake your hand, look you in the eye, and tell you one thing, and they're like, fuck you. What's up?
Those people exist?
They do. And you can find them in Masi Toyota Pacific Beach if that's where you want to go. Let me see. Von Miller is Broncos for life. I hope the Bills can make roughing the passer penalty really count if they get one. Goodbye, everybody. Sandman. All right. So, as always, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.